Well, Bob, this is a strong one.
Yes, the biggest one of the season. And all of a sudden, it was a weak season in terms of energy generated by these tropical cyclones. And now it's going to go on record probably as one of the strongest seasons just because of this one storm.
Of this.
Yeah, it's been a Category 5 for over 4 days now. Category 5 storm, or not 5 storm, but a major hurricane, I should say. It's been going through a 4 and a 5, 5 Friday night, but then 4 over the weekend. Here's what's going on with us. I'm going to show a good looking photo. This one here was sent in over the weekend from Saturday night. Linda getting this shot. Beautiful, kind of framed nicely too with that arch. And then this today, different story. And this is what we're looking at. Water spout that was shot from this vantage point from Boca Grande looking off into the Gulf of Mexico. Very thin one at that. But nonetheless, this is what you can get with showers and storms moving in all different directions into the Gulf of Mexico. And Lakewood Ranch webcam showing you basically a lot of clouds around this afternoon. We had some sunshine earlier today and a lot of rainfall at times. In fact, more rain fell in some areas than we saw with Hurricane Hermine. That's right. Northport reporting over 5.5 inches of rainfall there just today. And notice all this moisture here. This is all that tropical moisture, which is still working in our general direction. So the biggest concern for us will be over the next couple of days, not so much Matthew, but so much the flooding possibilities here. There are some flood warnings up now for some of the rivers and streams around town. In fact, there's still a flood advisory, an urban flood advisory in effect for South Sarasota County. You can see the good news is, though, that the rain has come to an end temporarily, and we'll look for just some light rain to linger in places across Sarasota and Manatee counties. I mentioned those flood warnings for the Manatee River at the Myakka Head. There's also a flood warning at Horse Creek into DeSoto County, and this one, again, the Myakka River at the Myakka State Park, a flood warning in effect through Saturday, and that's in anticipation of much more rainfall over the upcoming days. I mentioned over 3 to 5 inches of rain near Anna Maria Island, also causing some flooding problems on Holmes Beach there earlier today, right around high tide in Northport, Port Charlotte, all the way down to Punta Gorda, up to nearly 6 inches of rainfall over the past 12 hours, and looks like more on the way for us tomorrow afternoon, mainly in the afternoon and evening. 75 right now. There's some high clouds, debris clouds left over from the earlier storms. The relative humidity 90%. We have an east wind at 7. The pressure 29.89 inches. That's coming up a little bit from the earlier reading today. 89 the high with the sunshine this morning. It did warm up a couple degrees above average. And as far as rainfall goes, this was taken earlier at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport automated system. We are now past 0.3 of an inch there at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport. Temperatures have cooled down, actually into the mid-70s now, and lower 70s in places like Northport, Arcadia, Myakka City, all at 73 degrees. Currently, the Gulf of Mexico at 86 degrees, so still very warm water out there. And as far as the overall picture goes, this is a driving force. The trough of low pressure over the deep southeast and into the Gulf of Mexico will split up. One will move off to the northeast while the other heads to the southwest. That will allow the high pressure to expand to the east of Matthew, which will cause it to possibly move more toward Florida down the road. And you can see what's going on. This is that trough of low pressure. Part of it's going to head to the west and southwest while the other is going to lift off to the northeast. That will allow this high pressure ridge to build in, which will drive then, it looks like, Matthew more toward the northwest after about a couple of days from now. Here's a look at this impressive storm system, and the pressure has actually dropped 6 millibars. And what that means is that sometimes it takes a while for the wind to catch up. The winds are now at 145. This could go back to Category 5 status before it makes landfall, unfortunately, into Haiti, and it's going to cause all sorts of problems there. It's moving to the north at 7. The pressure is down to 934 millibars. There's the forecast path and track right through the central Bahamas where there are hurricane warnings up. No warnings yet for Florida, but I think that will change tomorrow as a watch more than likely will be issued if this trend continues. And the trend has been for this cone of uncertainty to drift west over the course of the past 12 hours. So the next big advisory will come out at 5 a.m. and meteorologist John Scalzi will have more on that tomorrow morning, so you want to tune in for that. Even the spaghetti models are shifting west. The GFS is moving west as many other models. The UK Met, we talked about that earlier, which is the United Kingdom meteorological model, and that is showing a coast of the east coast of Florida kind of a movement there. And that's terrible because if it were to stay out right on the water and just kind of skirt along the coastline, it wouldn't lose its strength too much and it would just continually hammer all of Florida on the east coast. So that could be a potentially dangerous storm. 89-degree water temperature here too. So this is going to be still a major hurricane, even in the southwest Atlantic, even though it may get beat up a little bit by Cuba and obviously Haiti. We feel for those folks there in both those countries. Jamaica being spared a little bit, but still going to be dangerous there as well. Seas 1 to 2 feet with a light chop out there. Northeast winds at 10 knots. Water temperature still very warm here, 86 degrees, and we're expecting a lot of clouds tomorrow, especially in the afternoon, and then the low tide will be at 9:45. The forecast tonight, strong storms, probably not, just some light rain, but we could see those storms back again tomorrow afternoon and evening. Then for tomorrow, some clouds in the morning with some sunshine, and then more clouds in the afternoon with another good chance for storms. And the extended forecast, this is all under scrutiny here because, things may change here, Haley, as we move on through the rest of the week, depending upon the future movement of Matthew.